All right, so I just finished filming my video for worst movies of 2013. And there's some terrible movies. Thankfully, though, we had a great year, fantastic year for cinema, and there were some real gems that were produced this year and directed, and great acting overall. So here's my list of 10 best movies of 2013. Starting off, there were a few that didn't make the list. This was a very, very, very hard decision, and I spent quite some time trying to figure out what movie was going to be at what spot or whatnot. So, three honorable mentions I just want to mention real quick. Pacific Rim, I had a great time seeing this movie. It was a lot of fun. I had a shit-eating grin on my face the whole time. Captain Phillips, incredible performance. Tom Hanks deserves his nominees. First performance there. Great directing and all-around great movie. I just thought there were a lot more that I personally enjoyed more. And another movie that surprised the hell out of me was a movie called The Way, Way Back. Great story, a lot of people can relate with, about a kid in the summer who just doesn't know what to do with his time. He feels out of place, and really good acting there. So let's get to the list. So coming in at number 10, directed by Edgar Wright, with Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. They're great together in The World's End. I thought this movie was absolutely hilarious. Edgar Wright is great when it comes to editing and putting together a film. It's fast, he's smart, and the chemistry between Simon Pegg and Nick Frost is always great, as you've seen in Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz. I personally think this was the best out of the three movies from Edgar Wright. It was funny, it was witty, great story. And the best part about the movie is as the movie goes on, they're getting drunk. It's absolutely hilarious to watch, and I highly recommend it as a comedy. Coming in at number 9, I just recently watched this, and directed by Ron Howard. This guy is so good behind a camera, and his use of colors and making you feel like you're right there in the action. The movie Rush with our buddy Thor, Chris Hemsworth, and somebody... Daniel Brühl, or it's French, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, did an absolutely fantastic job bringing these characters to life. The way it is filmed is awesome. You feel like you're right there with the cars racing, and it's a really good movie. It's worth checking out. So Rush is at number 9. Number 8, I am stoked that this is on my list because the director James Wan. On my worst movies of 2012, I had Insidious Chapter 2, and that was directed by James Wan. So The Conjuring made my list, and wow, this movie did get under my skin. It was creepy. It knew it was creepy, and it knew how to scare the shit out of you. I feel like Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, they did a great job portraying the Warrens, and the Warrens are from my hometown of Monroe, Connecticut. So that gave it a little bit of extra, creepiness to it, knowing that down the street from me is where they lived. I guess Mrs. Warren still lives there. So, great movie. It was really scary. It was smart. And James Wan he does some really crazy stuff with the camera, and I had a great time. Saw it a few times in theaters. Bought it on DVD. One of the best horror movies I've seen in the last few years. Great job. Look forward to see what he's doing in the future. Wouldn't surprise me if this movie had sequels, but let's hope not, because you're usually not very good. James Wan, don't make a sequel to this movie. Alright, coming in at number 7 is a movie I was looking forward to at the beginning of the year. It came out and it blew me away. It was The Place Beyond the Pines. A limited release film. I'm not sure if a lot of people saw it. It's out on DVD now. Definitely watch it. We had Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper, among others. Just well acted, great story. It really stuck with me for a while after I saw it, and I think what I liked most about it is, the cinematography was great. I liked that, these characters felt very real, and there were multiple different stories going on, and each of them brought something to the table. Great time watching it. Check it out. Alright, coming in at number 6 is another limited release that I absolutely loved, and I have thought about it since I've seen it earlier this year. Disconnect. Holy shit, Jason Bateman. You should stop doing comedies where you can act, man. And if you have not seen this movie, it is something everyone should see. It's about multiple stories coming together about people who are negatively affected before technology. It is sad. It's depressing. It's very real. If you're looking for a happy ending, you're not going to be getting that in this movie. I highly recommend everybody see it. Disconnect, Jason Bateman, great performance, probably the best I've seen in your career. I absolutely loved it, and I look forward to seeing what the director does next. Now, my top 5 favorite movies of 2013. This was really tough, but because there are so many good movies this year, but I think I've sorted them accordingly. Coming in at number 5 is a movie that was kind of, I don't know, some people want to call it chick flick. I don't think it's a chick flick at all. I think it's sort of a coming of age thing about a kid who just kind of lost and trying to find his way through life. And he meets a girl and she helps him out and really puts him in his place. And it's called The Spectacular Now. You got Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. Both are absolutely outstanding in this movie, and I think we're going to see a lot from both of them. Miles Teller has got a few movies coming out this year, and Shailene Woodley is up and coming. She's going to be in the upcoming movie Divergent, among others, and both very real characters. Sure, situations everyone can relate to. I particularly related to the character portrayed by Miles Teller, and it really stuck with me, and it's a movie that I could watch over and over again, and it would never get boring. So check it out, The Spectacular Now. All right, coming in at number 4 was a movie that I probably had the most fun time out of any of these seeing in theaters. It was like a Disney World theme park ride, Gravity. Alfonso Cuarón is so good with what he did using green screens and special effects, and the cinematography is outstanding. He deserves to win. I certainly deserves the nomination for best cinematography. Here, this movie made you feel like you were lost in space. I wanted to kiss the ground when I got out of the theater. Great performances from Sandra Bullock. You did awesome. George Clooney, you were good too. The short time you were in the movie. I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to get it on DVD. But it's a movie you should see in theaters, and the 3D was outstanding. I loved it. Great memories, great time. Gravity. If you haven't seen it, do it. All right. My top 3 movies of 2013. This was really tough, because this movie I wanted to put at number 1, and when I saw it, I'm like, that's it. I don't think I can see anything better out of a cast or from a director. But there were 2 movies that I had a lot more fun with, and I'll explain why I chose them. The movie was 12 Years a Slave. Now, this was a powerful, powerful movie. It was very difficult to watch. I don't know whether I could actually watch it again. The acting here is incredible. I can't pronounce the main character's name. I don't really remember off the top of my head what it was, but he was amazing, and everybody you see throughout this movie does a great job. Paul Giamatti's good in it. You got Brad Pitt in there for a little bit, and they all contributed with great acting. And this is a movie everybody should see, but I'd recommend seeing it in the comfort of your own home, because it is powerful, it is intense, it is real, it is in your face. Steve McQueen did an incredible job directing this movie, and really stuck with me, and I loved it. And it wasn't at my number 1 because there are 2 movies that I absolutely could watch hundreds of times and would not get boring, and I could only see 12 Years a Slave a few times. So, number 2, American Hustle, directed by one of my favorite directors. The guy has made The Fighter. Last year he made my favorite movie, Silver Linings Playbook, and now he's here with American Hustle. David O. Russell. You are so good at telling a story, and the script by Eric Singer was just phenomenal. The script is what made this movie, and the actors just blew my mind. Christian Bale, holy shit, best performance of your career, and you're good at whatever you're in, and I don't know what you do to gain weight and lose weight. If you've ever seen The Machinist, your Twig, this movie, he's got a big beer gut, awesome. Bradley Cooper did a great job. Amy Adams, really good. Jeremy Renner and Jennifer Lawrence. You just continue to keep on impressing me. You are so good and I everything you're in, I absolutely love it. I loved you as Katniss. Katniss was, I love the Hunger Games. That was great. Um, Jennifer Lawrence, keep doing what you're doing. Everybody, great job. I absolutely loved that movie. Um, can't wait to see it again. See it if you haven't. Very very witty script. It's fast paced, great story. It's fun, and this brings me. And I thought that was going to be my number one movie when I saw it until I saw it today. A movie that just blew my mind. The Wolf of Wall Street. This is in your face, gratuitous language, drug use, sex. It is a tour de force of debauchery and chauvinism, and it's amazing. Leonardo DiCaprio does such a good job at being Jordan Belfort, which the movie is based upon, and it's a book, and this guy lived an insane life. It's a true story, and Martin Scorsese is one of the best directors of all time, and this is, in my opinion, his best movie since Goodfellas. I absolutely loved it. The script was awesome. Jonah Hill was fantastic in this movie. I think this guy can act, man. In Moneyball he was great, but here just like I think he could be the next big thing, and I'm really excited to see him get more serious roles like this. He's fun to watch on screen, but this is Leonardo DiCaprio's movie, man. He is so good, and Terrence Winter did such a good job at writing the script and the screenplay, and it all came together so smoothly. I absolutely love this movie. I will be going back and seeing it again, maybe a third time while it is still in theaters. It's 3 hours long, but hey, this movie could have been 10 hours long, and I would have loved it. And I can't wait for the DVD to come out because it was originally like 200 minutes. It was NC-17, and Scorsese had to cut a bunch of it in order to get it in theaters. So Wolf of Wall Street, absolutely incredible movie. It was my favorite of 2013. Again, this year was filled with awesome movies. And thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree? Is there something I should have had on the list that I didn't? Thanks, and let's see what 2014 has to bring. Hopefully it's just as good as this year.